Here's some foot and leg exercises you can do. Keep in mind this is in double time. Start by sliding one foot in front of you and over towards the other leg. Try to keep your foot straight so your ankle's in line with your leg. Now slide your foot directly in front of you. Really press your toes into the surface of the floor that you're using. Now take it over to your side, and then take it directly behind you. Keep your foot on the ground for as long as you can, and then point your toe so only your big toe makes contact with the ground, and then bring it back in. Now take your leg behind you and towards the straight leg. If you're like me, you'll feel this in your inner thighs a lot. Now take a moment to shake it out and switch to the other side. Set yourself up so you have room to extend the opposite leg without hitting anything. Now extend that leg forward and past your straight leg. Point your toes so it's just the tips of your toes that make contact with the floor as you extend your leg. And then bring it back in. And then extend your leg directly in front of you. Really push through your toes through each extension. And really go slow in each movement so you can articulate what muscles you're using. Now extend and point your foot out to your side. And then slowly bring it back in. You can do this with your toes and hip in a turned out position, or like me, you can keep them straight. Next, take your leg directly behind you. Really take your time extending out through your leg and pressing through your toes. And then slowly bring it back in. And slide it out again behind you and towards your straight leg. Do your best to keep your hips square so you're not rotating out with your hip. Really reaching out through your toes and then slowly bringing it in again. Shake it out, take a break, pat a peppy, and then set yourself up over on the other side again. Again, making sure that you have enough room on that leg to extend without knocking into anything. This time, as we slide our leg forward, we're going to use a bit of momentum to flick our foot off of the floor and kick up. Only kick to a height that you feel comfortable with, and then kicking straight in front of you, and then out to your side, really pressing out through your toes and flicking off the floor before you bring it back in. And then taking it directly behind you, you might like to pulse a couple of times before bringing it back in. And then extending back and towards your standing leg. And then bring it in, shake it out a little bit, and then move towards the other side, setting yourself up. Extending the opposite forward and to the standing leg. Kicking up, and then bring it back in. And then extending directly in front of you and flicking up, and then bringing it back in. And then taking it to your side, deciding if you're working with your leg turned out or keeping it straight, remembering to do it even on both sides. Sliding your foot directly behind you, flicking back, pulsing a couple times, and then bringing it back in. And then extending your leg behind you and towards the other leg, flicking up, and bringing it back in. And then shaking it out, especially if you feel stiff. And then setting yourself up on the other side again. Taking your foot in and up, noticing any changes this time if it's a bit easier. And then taking it directly in front of you. Again, just paying attention to see if it's a bit easier this time. And out to the side. Flick and in. And then taking it to the back, flick, and in. And then taking it in, flicking, back, and in. And then moving to the other side again, shake it out. Sliding your opposite past your standing leg, and then bringing it back in. And then directly in front of you, and bringing it back in. Out to the side, flick, and bring it back in. And then directly behind you, flick, and bring it back in. And then back and past your standing leg, flick, and bring it back in. Maybe shaking it out a little bit. You might like to spend some time stretching out a little bit, bending forward, alleviating any stiffness from the exercises. And then you might like to counter with a little bit of a back bend, only going to where it is comfortable and feels good, and being mindful of your neck. And stopping if you feel any pain or pinching in your back. Coming up when you feel ready. And then you might like to stretch your sides, extending your arms overhead, taking it over to one side, and then over to the other side. And then when you feel good, bring it back up again. And setting yourself up again for one more round on each side. So for the last time on this leg, taking it towards your standing leg, flicking it up, bringing it back in, and then straight in front of you and in. Move over if you need to so you don't kick anything. As you bring your leg out to the side, if you kick up past a certain level, you're naturally going to turn out your leg, meaning your foot and your hip are naturally going to turn away from the rest of your body. In my next kick back, I'm going to add a back bend in. Only do this if you don't feel any pain whatsoever. And then one last kick towards your standing leg, and in. And then setting yourself up over for the other side. If you like to challenge yourself, keep your arms up overhead. Flicking up and towards your standing leg. And then straight. And then out to your side, remembering you're going to naturally turn out after a certain point. Then taking it to the back, adding a back bend if you like, and it feels okay. And then last time towards your standing leg and back. These are exercises I like to do from time to time. I find that they can be really grounding, and they overall just help me with some other dancing that I do. You use your core when you stabilize yourself, so it's really good core work. And to do it really slow requires muscle control. So just a couple benefits. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment. Let me know how you did in the comment section, what you liked, and don't forget to subscribe.